Welcome to this yet another video. Today we have got what is appearing on the screen. Those who know it, they already know it. Azani Internet Service Provider Information System. This is the KCSE 451/3 project year 2026. And today I just want us to do a very small tour, a quick tour on system construction, very fast. So I believe you have read all the content of what we have on the screen there. You have read all this. If you have not read all this, you have no business following me. Just pause or stop the video. Go read whatever the contents are. If you know it, you already know it. You know what is expected of us this year, 2026. Now, I've done it. Partly, not yet complete, but I have done much of what we require to be done in this particular project. I start with showing you my tables. I've got so many tables. How many? I believe they might be around 7 thereabout. I show each of them in design view. The first one is called table bandwidth. Table bandwidth, there it is, table bandwidth. 3 fields. Each of them has got its own data type. So bandwidth ID, BPM, bits per minute, or whatever. And then cost in Kenya shillings. And then I've made the entries as per the project paper. I've made the entries of records as per the project papers. 4 Mbps, 10 Mbps, 20 Mbps, 25 and 50 Mbps with their respective prices. This is as per the project paper. I've gone ahead to create a table called table institution in design view. There it is. Every field. Always remember, you as an intelligent guy, what can you do? Pause the video, screenshot, and you can always try to make a reference to what you are seeing now. So there are my fields, and then in datasheet view, we see what we have done, the entries that we have done. I have registered how many institutions? 32 institutions, each of them being allocated a unique institution ID, an institution name, physical address, email address, phone number, institution category, and that, and whatever follows. And all of them, incidentally, they are disconnected because they violated a particular rule as per our project paper. No worries about that. Okay. Now, next one is the one which we are using to choose institution category. The table that has got the institution categories, as in the highlighted column there, where we can group our schools or we can allocate our schools as a senior school, primary, college, university, in case we shall need one, supermarket, and so on. So why we needed this table is because of future dynamism. We might want to expand and cater for more institutions than what we have on the project paper. We may want to include hospitals. We may want to include homes. We may want to include shopping malls and the like. We may want to extend our services to other categories. And therefore, instead of just an ordinary lookup wizard, we need to create a table for categories for future dynamism. Now, LAN nodes is another table. 2 fields, number of nodes, short text. Nodes, cost in Kenya shillings. There we are. And what are the entries? As per the project paper again, this time round we have records coming, most records coming from the paper. There they are. Each of the number of nodes is associated with a particular cost in Kenya shillings. Okay, good. Table monthly bills, I tell you, this is where we carry all the activities. Study it very keenly. Study the data types. This is a table which is just marvelous. This is a table which you are not going to type any record, but you are going to see records coming into it. For example, records that I have in this table. Table monthly bills. We call it table monthly bills. Muhimu kabisa. Afadhali ukose kuelewa kitu kingine chochote. but this one you make sure you fully understand it. So you can see much of the required things to be done in the project paper. We are calculating the amount due. That is the end of the every month. Like now, these are bills due for the month of 30th. I mean, for the month of April. So by 30th of April, these people should have paid some amount of money. Okay. Don't worry about the disconnection status and so on. That was done through trial and error. Amount due, fine, and reconnection fee. Paid status if somebody pays, and then we have got what? We have got disconnection. Then when did they make the payment? If they have ever made the payment, and then what was the amount that they did pay? So take time, understand this table, understand its design view, understand it. We have said we are not typing any record into this table. Tables are being added into this table dynamically. So take time, understand it. As you do yours, make sure you have fully understood it. Read the paper again. Requirements. Most of the requirements will be served from this particular table. Yes, then there are some other payments that are to be done. Payment categories where we have pay category ID, pay category name, and then the cost of that particular category. Then what are the records that we have entered here? In datasheet view, very fast. This is where we are looking at what's the cost of desktop computers, installation fees in a cost how much, reconnection fees costs how much, registration fees costs how much as well. Then we have got table of payments. When you pay for the above categories, we have another record of where we are keeping track of that. When you purchase desktop computers, when you pay for this, when you pay for registration, we have this table. So again, look at its design view, pause, screenshot, whatever you want to do. And in datasheet view, how does it look like? Sample records only. Yeah, sample records here. There we are, that on a certain payment date, an institution there, and description there. Whatever we are paying for, we describe it. And then the payment category, you can see registration fees, installation, desktop computers, nakadhalika. And then quantity of how much are we paying for? How much are we paying for? Yes, so those are my tables. Now, quickly to my relationships. Quickly, I go to my relationships, close all these tables, and we go to my relationships. Study these relationships, understand them. Oh, very tiny, very tiny, very tiny. I may not be able to show you. Okay, let me try to pause my video and just a minute. Okay, there are my relationships. You can study them. You can see that the two table institutions, almost every other table is kind of almost joined to this particular table. And then we have got the other tables, that is table institution categories here. We have got table monthly bills there. You can see the lines connecting to and home keys and the foreign keys. Primary keys and the foreign keys, you can see them. Table payments, you can see it. Table bandwidth, you can see it. Table and nodes, you can see it. Then we have got table categories again. You can be able to see all these tables that we have and how they are related to each other. You can see because there is the mark that indicates the primary key. And whenever you see the primary key, then you see there is a line there. Many times you are going to notice that it is a foreign key versus a primary key, or a primary key versus a foreign key. Okay, so too much for relationships. I close them and save them. Save these relationships. Now we go to queries. Now, this is a project where most of the calculations, most of the tasks can be implemented using action queries. Action queries are rarely taught in secondary school computer studies, but now this is a scenario where you cannot avoid to have action queries. Everybody say action queries. One of them is one which we are clicking to generate monthly bills. So how does it look like? It looks like this. Query generate monthly bills relies on two tables. Up there. Let me show you which are these two tables. We have got table bandwidth and we have got table institutions. And then a third one which is not visible. I'm going to talk about it very soon. And I'm just trying to enlarge this. And then the thing I've put around my mouse is the thing that is making me become sluggish in doing these activities. All right. So those are the two tables that are visible, but there is an invisible table. Table monthly bills is an invisible table. This kind of a query is called an append query. You can see the active icon there under query design. We have append query. Append query. Append means what? Add records into. It will add records automatically into a table called monthly bills. Table monthly bills. Everybody is saying table monthly bills. Immediately you hit on the icon append query, changing from the regular select query to append query, you're going to be asked which table are you going to append records into. And then you're going to select what? Table monthly bills. And you now go choosing the fields from each of the above tables. Like now institution ID comes from table institutions. Match it to institution ID of your monthly bills table. Then there is a very lengthy expression here, a very lengthy one, expression here. Why is it refusing to resize so that I can show you? There's big expression. It looks like that. Bill month is equal to, colon, not equals, but colon, date serial, year, date function, and then comma, month, date, evo, and then +1, 0. What is the usefulness of the whole of this expression? Simple. One, we want it to capture the end date of the current month that we are in. For example, I am currently in the month of April. And therefore, this expression will do what? Return the end date of the month of April. That is that year of April 2026. That's what it's gonna do. That whole expression. You need it. Screenshot it, snip it, whatever method you use. No worry. Have it. It's for yours to keep. Then we have cost in Kenya shillings coming from table bandwidth associated with amount due. The long expression we had in the previous column is associated to due date. When should this client, when are they going to pay for the bill? The due date is what we are calling due date. When are they going to pay for the bill? That year, April 2026, for example. So we have got the cost of the bandwidth. Then have we paid? Not yet. So this is an expression up here. This is an expression which you just type a name of the expression, paid status. And then what are we storing in the expression? No. We are setting it to false. And then that goes to paid status field. Disconnected. Have we disconnected this institution yet? No. So again, it goes to table institutions. And then we set the disconnected to be equal to no. Okay. Disconnected table institutions, we set it to no. Then the upgrade status again is a yes no data type. Again, it goes to upgrade status. Now here we also need to check something, that we are also checking whether the institution is disconnected or not. Remember, we cannot bill an already disconnected institution, can we? We cannot bill an already disconnected institution. And therefore, we need to check the status of whether the institution is disconnected or whether it's not disconnected before we populate what? Before we populate what we are calling monthly bills. Have it together. Now, practically, let's go test it. Table monthly bills, we said this table should receive records dynamically, automatically, without your intervention. So I erase all my existing records. Don't worry about that. We are going to have them again. And this is just a matter of time. So what do? I go to the query generate monthly bills. This is a tricky query because you need to always remember to run the query for it to be able to implement the action. Remember, it is an action query. Action queries are normally run so that they can implement the action they represent. An append query needs to be run so that it can implement the appending of the records which match the criteria that we have given. So I click on run, and I am told you are about to append 0 records. Ukiona ni 0, ujue nothing will be appended. Ask yourself why. One, most likely is because of the criteria that we have here. Disconnected is already set to no, that we are only generating monthly bills if the disconnection status is equal to no. Okay, but what about the real scenario? Remember, this is a field which comes from table. Which one? Table institutions. So I run to table institutions, check the status of table of the field disconnected, and then all of them are marked as yes, true. This is yes. So I set them as many as possible. I want to set them to false. No. Are you disconnected? No. And no. Okay, those are enough for our example. So I believe I've gone to about 17, the record, and then now I go to monthly bills table, to the query again. That query generate monthly bills. Let's run it. Now I run. You are about to append 17 records. Remember, this time table monthly bills is cleared. It's empty. But now when I say yes, let's visit table monthly bills. Any record? No. Why? Because I have not refreshed the table. So what do? I go to, I'm looking for the place of refreshing, where this is a new version that I have not been using quite often. But ikisumbua, what do we do? Just close the table and reopen it. Table monthly bills, so that it comes when it is already refreshed. Now you can see from the query monthly bills, we have been able to add bill ID automatically, institution ID automatically, due date automatically, upgrade status is there, amount due is also there. And you can see that all these bills are due in the month of April. 30th. Okay, very good. So that is how we generate monthly bills. Can it generate again? Oh no, Let me check before I just say no, because it should not. It should not add double bills to an institution. So we try to run it again. We try to run it again from query design. I go run once more. Are you sure you want to append the scientific records? Yeah. Then I get an error. Microsoft Access cannot append all the records in the append query because what violation. 17 records due to a table of due to the table due to key violations. Key violations where now? Key violations, we have deliberately created some key violations, something that will generate that kind of an error. And that can only be viewed from design view of the monthly bills table. Monthly bills table. Where have you created that? That kind of a scenario. The kind of a scenario that we have is created through indexes. Another scenario which you have never done since you have been learning Microsoft Access. You have never dealt with things that are called indexes. Have you? You have never dealt with indexes. So here is a scenario where you are going to find yourself requiring indexes. Now look at this scenario. I explain, you try to understand. This one is my created index name. Index yangu. This is my created index name. Now, this index name says like this. It is using a field called institution ID, which again, you just drop down to pick institution ID. And then due date, again, it's a field which you just drop down and pick due date. Okay. Then those two fields, what do we want to do with them? That an institution, which an institution is uniquely identified by its ID. And then the due date, like for example, bills for 30th of April. We cannot generate for institution number 1 2 bills of 30th April 2026. That's the idea now that we have. So because we do not want to do that, what do? Index yangu is the name of the index which is associating these two fields. And then down here under index properties, we say that this must be unique. They cannot be allowed to have duplicate values. In other words, an institution can not have 2 bills in a particular similar date. Hapo jaribu kuelewa zaidi kabisa. Hapo nimetoka hapo. Sasa kusonga kwa jambo lingine. Now I'm in another. I just first miss out these select queries. These are for other uses. Once you have understood how you should generate the fines, how you should generate the bills, how you should generate the overdue, whatever, and so on, then you are going to quickly be able to extract the information required about the defaulters and the like. So we go to calculate overdue fine. Overdue fine is another query. Overdue fine is another query that we have like this. How many tables is it using? Only one. Which table? Table monthly bills. I'm looking for the sizing handle around here. Okay, around here, and there we are. So it's table monthly bills, and then it has got a field called fine, and then it has got a field called due date, and then it has got a field called paid status. You notice it's an update query. So once again, it's an action query. Now, the previous one was append. Append, we said, is doing what? Adding records automatically into table monthly bills. Now, update is doing what? Changing the values contained in particular fields. In this case, the fine is the thing that we are updating. What are we updating it to? We are calculating amount due multiplied by 15%. Kibiria kwa karatasi, angalia kwa karatasi mahali tuko na hizo fine. So charging of fine, this is amount due times 15%. So we are updating it exactly to that. And then how do we do the update? If the due date For instance, all our due dates have been set to 30th. Do you believe that? Yeah, because I showed you what we have in table monthly bills. I go to datasheet view. Yes, I go to datasheet view, and then you can see all our due dates are all set to 30th of April. Now, what will happen when we try to run this query? It will test whether the due date is less than the date today. What does that mean? Like now, today, when we are doing this video, we are on 16th of April 2026. Angalia pale bottom left right corner. System tray, 16th of April 2026. And therefore, the date today is still smaller than the due date because the due date is 30th and today's date is 16th. Now, the time when we shall be moving to May 1st, then it will be like the date today will be greater than the due date, and therefore that's the time when we are going to see pharaohs being surcharged. Can we attempt to change any date in monthly bills so that we can see what will happen? Right now, if I run the query, will anything happen? Oh no, nothing will happen. I'm just about to update 0 records. Why? Because now no records meet any criteria that we have set. So go to table monthly bills, cause some dates now to become like this was due in the date of 7th of April, and this was due in the date called 1st of April. This was due in the date called 28th of March. Okay. So I've got several records now which should be affected. I go to query, calculate overdue fine. You can see the records indicate in the table monthly bills, the column for have they paid? Paid status is still no. Everybody has not paid their bill. So we are checking for two things. We are checking for the value of the date, due date, is it less than the date today? Okay, if it is, now we have several dates which are less than the date today. And again, is the paid status equal to no? So if I now run the query, what will happen? Is this. 3 rows are going to be affected. Now, there we are. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So we've got now, were we updating? We were updating the fine due for these people, that they should pay 4,000 times 15%, you get 600. For 2,000 times 15%, you get that, and so on. So what were we updating? We were updating the fine for the overdue bills. Are we together? Pause. Understand what we have said. Moving to the next item in the agenda. The next item in the agenda is about disconnection of the clients. These people who have not yet paid and persistently have not paid their bills for how long? They have not persistently paid their bills after the due date, 10 days after. Then we must disconnect them. We have no choice but disconnect these fellows because they have our money. It's now long overdue. 10 days grace period, it's now long overdue. So we just mark them as disconnected. So let's see who will be affected or not. How about the query? The query is like this. We have 2 tables in question this time, monthly bills and table institutions. And we have got the field called disconnected coming from table monthly bills. We are setting it. It's an update query. I forgot to remind you about that. It's another action query, an update query, which we are now marking the disconnected field to yes automatically, which exists in table monthly bills, and also the field called disconnected in table institution. We are also marking it to a yes if these people have not paid their bill by the due date plus 10 days grace period, where the paid status is equal to no. So here you can see the 10 days past today's date, and or the due date rather, and then the paid status where it is equal to no. And then we do what? We try to run the query and check what will happen. 3 rows will be affected. 3 rows will be affected there. And you can see automatically our 3 people who have not paid persistently wamekatana pesa. Sijui kama ni kukataa ama ni kukosa, wamekosa pesa hawa watu, labda wamekosa pesa kabisa. 28th huyu amekana pesa zetu karibu mwezi mzima. 7th of April huyu amekaa na pesa zetu yapata siku ngapi? Leo ndio alikuwa, they were unlucky. Today was the day when they could have not been disconnected, but now because they have persistently not paid, who are we? We have to mark them as people who have defaulted our rules. Okay. And then we have got now those 3 records have been affected. You also go to table institutions, the disconnected field among the first, we were dealing with the first 17 records. You can see 1, 2, 3. The 3 rows again have been changed their value of disconnected from false to yes. So that's our query. Where there's one. This is the query that we are dealing with. Pause the video, study it, look at it so keenly, check, even the expressions, zoom in, zoom out, check, understand what is happening there. Beautiful. Now we go to a scenario where we are doing a reconnection update. This is where now, where every institution disconnected, again, they have got to be surcharged how much? 1,000 Kenya shillings upon disconnection. If they are disconnected, they have to be charged 1,000 reconnection fee. And this will only be affecting the institutions whose disconnected status is equal to yes. Those whose disconnection status is equal to no, then they are not going to be surcharged. Okay, so reconnection fee we are charging. We are charging them 1,000 reconnection fee. Something is amiss here. I have not tested this query yet. So we are updating the reconnection fee to 1,000. So notice that I have indicated the criteria to be 1,000, which is wrong. Should be that we are updating the reconnection fee to 1,000, okay, and not the criteria. So there was a mix-up there. And also update to in the action in the disconnected field, we only use criteria. We are not updating anything. Maybe these people have not yet paid, but we want them now to know that they should pay whenever they are disconnected. So this query requires only those 2 fields where we have disconnected status. If it is yes, then we update the reconnection fee to become 1,000. So that the time they will be coming to pay, they will know that they should also pay the 1,000 reconnection fee. To run hii maneno, we run this maneno, and we are about to affect 3 rows. Remember, our 3 clients who are already disconnected, they are the ones who we are affecting. So I look at table monthly bills to check what is the effect of that, and you can see every fellow who was disconnected, now they are needed to pay 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Everybody who was disconnected. Okay. This is similar to this other query. I think this is the one which I was intending to show you, and then there was the other one which I had not looked at to see whatever was happening there. Now, we also have the issue of discount. Those people who are upgrading from one level to the next level, give them a discount of how much. Discount was supposed to be how much? Discount, let me put this column like that. They were to receive a discount of 10%. They were to receive a discount of 10%. Look at the paper. Don't look at the screen all the time. Look at the paper to first understand what is this that we are doing and where is it captured in your paper, in your paper. So in this case, if somebody is marked that they are upgrading, their upgrade status is marked as true, then they benefit with a discount of 10%. That is, the amount due will be discounted at a fee of 10%, a discount of 10%. How can we check that? Again, table monthly bills, and let's mark good, clean fellows who have not yet violated our rules. Like now, this one is supposed to pay 3,500, okay, as per now. And this one is supposed to pay 1,200 as per now. But these people are now upgrading from one level to the next level. So we mark them like that. When we mark them like that, then we want to come here and revisit the 3,500, hold it in your memory, and 1,200, hold it in your memory, and then 3,500, hold it into your memory. So that when we go to run upgrade discount query, which is another action query, then we do run. We do run. Remember the expression that we are using for the update? Ndio hiyo. Wacha nikuonyeshe ikiwa zoomed like that. That's the expression which decreases the amount due by 10%. Tunasip tumaji hapa pole pole. Then, so we run the query. Again, 2 records to be affected. I don't know why 2. Okay, I did not move my cursor from my third record. That's why it will not be affected. You see? So this one is not fully updated. But you can see now the ones which I had moved the cursor away from. You know, after updating, you need always to move the cursor away. So less 10%, this person was supposed to pay 3,500. This one, now you can see they are paying 3,150. Another one who has been affected, this one was supposed to pay 1,200. Now they are paying 1,080 Kenya shillings. That is it. That is it. And then we upgrade the status. You know, after we have updated, after we have given the discount, we must immediately uncheck the upgrade status, because if we run the query again, these fellows are going again to be done what? They are going to again benefit from yet another 10% discount, which is a bad scenario. We don't want such a scenario. Pana, double discount ni wrong. Kwa hivyo, there is a query here that we are changing all the upgrade status from true to false. Therefore, the order of rules, the order of actions should be: we upgrade the discounts, upgrade status discounts. Yes, we run it. And then immediately we run it, we shall be coming here to this other query. And then we change all the upgrade status from yes to no. So another update query based on which table? Table monthly bills. Okay. We together there. Table monthly bills is the one which we are using for almost all of these queries. I believe you have seen that we have table monthly bills. It's like the mother of all these calculations that are to be done. So we want to set all the upgrade status to a no. So the user must be taught that after you have given the upgrade discount, then you have again to unmark every upgrade status from yes to no. So I run this query, check again what it does. Yeah, very good. So I go to my table, the table there, table monthly bills. There we are. And upgrade status, zote ni no. So even if now somebody by mistake comes to run the upgrade discount again by mistake, then you'll find 0 rows will be affected. Are we together that far? So those are the main action queries that you shall require for your for your project. For your project, you shall require that. So I will think that that is enough because that's where most people are already stuck. And when you know that, then you can be able to progress now to do the forms, to do the reports when you are already comfortable with all the calculations and all the tasks that are to be done. I love you. Bye bye for now. Till we meet again next time. God keep you safe until we meet again the other time. Thank you very much.